Today we're going to take a look at the new color grading feature in Lightroom. So I'm going to go up here to a RAW file and take a look. ISO 100, 50mm f1.8. And I'm going to open up the basic panel. So we're going to go through this photo. I'm going to set it up to give it that cinematic look, and then we can go into the color grading. So I'm going to go over to the creative flow here, and let's go to the Hollywood. A lot of nice cinematic looks. And we're going to go down to Old Hollywood and find something that we like. I'm kind of liking this punchy one. Let's go with that. And the first thing I'm going to do is boost the exposure a little bit and just drop the vibrance down. Close down the basic panel, and here we have the color grading feature. You can see we have shadows and highlights already selected, no midtones. So now we can go into individual color wheels. Here we have the shadows. You can really fine tune things, midtones, and if you want to give it a nice overall look, global is where you want to be. So let's go over to this selection and just work with the midtones, shadows, and highlights and show you some different features. So since we already have highlights and shadows applied, we can try balancing them out. So I'm going to shift it right to cool, making the shadows more dominant. Highlights, and I like it where it was, so right about there. And then let's take the highlights, boost up the highlights a bit. We can lower the highlights, and I can actually leave it a little lower. There we go, and let's play with the shadows. So I'm darkening the shadows, and this is how we have the shadows set up. So it's a cooler look here, warmer in the highlights. Now let's take a look at the midtones. This is new because this is our old split toning. And let's go to, I'm going to give it more of a warmer mid-tone, just a little bit. And the cool thing is you can take the luminance down, sort of really flatten out the image. So I kind of like the darker overall look. So I'm going to colorize the midtones and take down the luminance right about here. So there we have a nice setup, and that looks fantastic. I'm going to go back into the basic panel, and let's just boost it a little bit up. And I'm going to take the temperature down just a bit. So now we have a really nice cinematic look to this photo, and we have our color grading feature set up here. So what I'm going to do is turn this off, and I can show you without it. What a difference. There's after. So it really color graded this nicely. This is indoor light that we shot this. And what I'm going to do right here is just go up to the reset for the preset collection, just so we can see full before and after. There's before, and there's after. So I'm going to take a look at one more photo here and give it a matrix style look, and let's get to it. Here we have our next RAW file. Let's take a look at that. Into the histogram, ISO 125, 23mm f4. Close that down, and we're going to set up this file again. So I'm just going to go to the creative flow, cityscapes, and let's try one of these presets here. So I'm liking number 3. Looks good. Let's go with that. And I'm just going to kill the vibrance a bit and boost up the shadows just a tad more. And we're not going to play with the profile that's built in with that preset. Maybe we are. No, we're just going to leave it like that. Okay, so now we can close down the basic panel and color grading. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. Again, to the creative flow under color. I'm going to give it an orange and teal look. So give that a click, and there we're set up with an orange and teal that we can play with. So I like the overall look of this, and I'm going to just try with the balance. We can shift it towards the shadows, but I'm going to go just right about there, and let's play with the midtones. So I like the teal look of that, so I'm going to just give it a mid-tone teal look right about there, and let's try boosting it up and maybe dropping it down. Just kind of flattens it out. Now we have a nice mix of midtones, shadows, and highlights. Again, giving it that matrix style look. That's what we're going for. And I'm going to go back into the basic panel, and I think I need to boost the temperature right about there, and I'm going to drop the clarity down just a bit. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to close down the basic panel again, and let's check out this photo without the color grading. There's before, and there's after. So I can do one more thing. Let's take a look at the signature collection. I'm going to put a different tone curve on this. I like that one right there. That's nice. Okay, so there's our look. And now we can reset the whole thing and see where we started. So I'm going to hover over the reset here. Here we have before, and there's after. Now this was super quick, so you can always go in and change things up a little bit, or giving a global effect. Maybe I'll just go one more. There we go, that looks really good. This is that great feature that everyone's been looking for if you use Davinci Resolve or Capture One, where you have access to these color wheels. Now you have it in Lightroom. Really great, really excited about it. A lot of stuff you can do with it. And one more thing, I'm going to add a quick setup of a preset here that you guys can download, or you can go to freepresets.com and find a ton there. Thanks for watching.